I'm going to show you how to lose 5 to 10 pounds of stubborn fat in the next 30 days. And if you implement everything I show with you today, you do it right and you do it consistently, you will lose 5 to 10 pounds in the next 30 days, despite, having a crazy schedule, maybe not even having enough time to dedicate to your health and fitness. And I'm super excited to break down this system for you guys today because I got a lot of feedback from people I talked to in the world of sports that when it came down to their fitness and nutrition, they felt like the nutrition side of things was definitely one of the biggest struggles when it came to them maintaining great health and fitness and achieving, their fat loss or muscle building goals. And this system that I'm going to share with you today is the exact system I used to drop 30 pounds in 4 months while I worked in the world of sports sales. And it's the same exact system my clients use on a day in and day out basis to drop fat consistently on a week to week basis and finally have confidence for what they see in the mirror and achieve the body of their dreams. So if you want to lose 5 to 10 pounds in the next 30 days, make sure to take note on this. And as well, I will be attaching this document in the description below so you can always make a copy and take it as well if you don't want to take notes. But before I jump into that system, guys, as I mentioned, you probably heard in previous videos before about my journey with my health and fitness journey through the world of sports, how I gained 30 pounds in my first 4 to 5 months of working on the sales side. And, 4 months later after that, I was able to drop that same 30 pounds I gained. And one of the most crucial, parts and pillars of me achieving that goal was definitely all the steps I'm going to share with you when it came to my nutrition. Once I got this dialed in and I did all these steps I'm about to share with you today, I was able to drop 10 pounds in my first month alone and then just start consistently shedding body fat week in and week out and finally have sustainability with my nutrition and also still living it up and having fun and just seeing results. And I still use this same system to this day. So that's why I'm super pumped to share it with you. So make sure to focus and watch this video because it's going to change your life forever and simplify nutrition for you to where you only have to dedicate about maybe 1 to 2 hours a week on top of your nutrition to make sure you see results. So let's jump right in. So step number 1 is always dialing in the right amount of calories, guys. You always want to, first and foremost, before I break this down, the biggest mistake I see, especially, with people in the world of, sports, a lot of people are former athletes and, very are caught in this all or nothing mentality. And I was, guilty of this as well, is that people think they're going to get to their health and fitness goals by just eating clean 24/7. And I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. Most people can't do that, especially in the world of sports. It's almost nearly impossible. And 2, it's just not sustainable and it's not fun just to enjoy life, right? If you're trying to eat clean 24/7, you're not going to be able to go out to on the weekends, enjoy time with friends and families, even holidays, without stressing or beating yourself up or feeling guilt and shame for, living it up a little bit or having a little bit more drinks or, your favorite foods or, desserts, whatever it is. So, and that's a constant cycle. I see people when they're eating clean Monday through Friday and the weekend comes, they either binge and then they beat themselves up, guilt and shame, and then they try to work out, to do the double amount of workouts the next week or just starve themselves, right, to make up for it. And with this, first and foremost step, it's going to help you be able to get rid of all of that and just give you a target to hit on a day-to-day basis. So, again, first thing first is finding the right amount of calories to eat on a daily basis. Again, I found out getting the exact calories you need to eat on a daily basis will do 70% of the work for you guys. And that's why I lost 10 pounds in my first month, because this is the number one thing I focused on. It was one of my biggest struggles. So I focused on this before I even got into working out again and doing a lot more steps and all that other stuff that comes with the journey. So you can click this calculator right here. It will take you to Alan Aragon. He's one of my, guys I follow. He has a book called Flexible Dieting if you ever want to get it. It's super helpful when it comes to just breaking nutrition down. But you just put your first name, email in there. You'll be able to calculate your calories, follow the prompts, and it'll give you all the info you need of where your starting point's going to be. And that's the thing, guys, for your calories as well. They're never going to stay the same. When people hit this plateau, they just, try to keep everything the same. You're going to have to change your calories over time, right? So if you do hit a weight loss where maybe your weight hasn't changed on a week-to-week basis, or, you've been stuck for a couple weeks, you might want to decrease your calories by, 50 to 100 or on the high end, 150 to 200 calories. But you always want to make sure to keep redoing this at certain points. I always, redid my calories around every, 4 to 6 week mark, depending on how my progress was going. If I was stuck, then obviously I would do it a little bit sooner. But if I kept seeing results and trending in the right direction, I would keep it consistent. And a big tip for the weekends, guys, when it comes to, getting the right amount of calories is if you do have a social event on the weekend, in order not to overeat or overconsume calories, cut your calories by 100 to 200 calories a day. So think of like Monday through Friday, or if you have an event on Friday. So that way, by the weekend, you have an extra 500 to 1,000 calories for the weekend to use. Your daily number is important, but it's also your weekly average as well. So if your goal is to hit 2,000 calories daily, that's 14,000 calories for the week if you multiply that by 7. So say if one day you eat 2,500, as long as you multiply the remaining calories you have over the 6 days. So if you just take 14,000 minus 2,500, I know it's a lot of math to be doing without showing it out right now, guys. But I think that leaves you with about 11,500. And then you would just take that 11,500 and divide it by 6, and I believe it comes out to like 1,900 or 1,916 calories to be exact. You would have left each for the next 6 days to hit your goals, right? So it just makes an adjustment along the way. That's why having this number is super important, because you can manipulate the things on a week-to-week basis, but as long as you're staying under the weekly average, you will still lose fat as well. But again, that's why having this starting number is super important. So again, if you have weekends and you want to go out, just save some extra calories so that way when you do maybe overeat or you have a couple extra drinks, you're not killing your progress that you work so hard for throughout the week. Step number 2 is defining out the ideal amount of meals to eat daily. So again, one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when it comes to, trying to lose fat, especially in the world of sports, is along with the grind and, put in a lot of hours, you're trying to eat one meal a day, or, you're just starving yourself and you maybe don't, just have one big meal and that's it, or you have like little snacks throughout the day. And why that is, hurting your goals is because, again, you still have to get the right amount of, macros, nutrients, minerals for your body to perform at a high level. And 2, if you're only eating one meal a day and you don't maybe have enough, you're overeating your calories, especially if you're like eating out a lot, you're going to have higher amounts of cravings, right? You're going to be craving higher, amounts of, they call it palatable foods. So foods that are high in, fat, sugar, your fast foods, your sweets, all that stuff, because of the fact is you're not spreading your meals out and having a decent schedule, right? So you never have a natural hunger cycle, right? And that's what kind of leaves you to like maybe not eating all day, but then snacking and binging at night. And that's why it's super important to have an ideal amount to eat daily, because then you get to follow the 80-20 approach. And again, this will help you eliminate the starving yourself throughout the day or eating Monday through Friday clean and binging on the weekends, right? So if you eat 3 meals per day, that's with the 80-20 approach, right, it's going to look like the following. 3 meals times 7 days per week is 21 meals. 80% of that is 21 meals, is 17 healthy, clean meals, right? And then the other 20% is 4 have fun meals. So this is a good ratio system because you're going to be eating healthy and clean most of the time, because you're going to fuel your body with the right stuff, especially when you have the right amount of calories to work with, right? Because this is going to be easier to help you plan out your meals and make sure these meals stay within the targets that you're trying to hit. Right. And then the 4 meals is have fun, live it up, because you still got to have a social life and enjoy, especially with, the team members after a long game day or during the season. If you need to grab fast food during your, during the games for you to eat, obviously this will help you, again, not stress so much about it or worry about losing any progress or, not hitting or staying consistent with your goals. Right. And obviously you have a lot less stress because now you can do both. And as long as you do this most of the time, you will see results. I see the fitness world always preaching perfection and you got to be disciplined and this and that. Like, life is not even a constant, consistency of just straight up, right, or linear fashion, right? So the same thing goes for your health and fitness. It's never going to be perfect, right? So you again, as long as you're right most of the time, using the calories and figuring out how many meals you need to eat daily, you will see results. But again, even if you don't are not able to eat 3 meals a day, you can still fall back on that 80-20 rule or the calories that you have throughout the day, and just make sure you stay within those calories and obviously your macronutrients as well. A pro tip for this, guys, is to meal prep just your protein for the week. So that way you have food on standby. I typically will make chicken and ground beef for the week and then continue, then get some minute rices. So like your little, this little package of minute rices that already come pre-cooked. You just got to warm them up, or frozen veggies for convenience. And this way, my meal prep takes me 30 minutes every week. No more than that. You get 2 proteins, so you have meats to rotate, so that way you don't get bored and sick of eating, just chicken or just the same thing over and over again. You at least have a little bit of a back and forth. That way it makes it easier to get through the week. And that's also going to help you naturally be able to balance like going out, eating some foods, with the coworkers, things on the weekends, whatever it is. And it's going to give you a whole ecosystem and a balance overall and sustainability. And obviously, if you hate meal prep, I almost forgot this major point. Invest in a meal prep company that already gives you a pre-made meal so you can just pop in the microwave. This is one of my go-tos for the people on the East Coast. It's called Eat Clean Bro. You can go through, all of these different meals. It gives you all the protein, the calories, and you can kind of pick what meals you want. Some of the best sellers right here. I don't want any coupons. But a lot of my clients, use Eat Clean Bro, especially the guys that are on the East Coast and my other clients in the world of sports. So, again, if you don't have the time and you really stretch, invest the money because you're going to invest it on eating out anyways. So you might as well fuel your body with good food that's tasty but also healthy, and it's going to help you get to your goals. And I'll make sure to drop my flexible nutrition plan in the description after this if you want access to that. Just kind of seeing how to help you with meal prep and also any other companies that you can get nationwide. Feel free to drop your email in that link, and it will send you over the nutrition plan as well. So step number 3 is to eat enough protein daily. And also going back to this real quick, guys, I got to see, again, people always just trying to eat healthy with Eat Clean, like with, the amount of meals that they're eating daily. And also I see a lot of people in the world of sports make the mistake of not prepping in advance. Proper preparation always prevents poor performance. So you want to make sure that you are taking initiative because it's going to help you glide through your week with no stress. All right, now jumping back to step number 3, and that's eating enough protein daily. So guys, I probably talk to a lot of sports execs on a daily basis, and a lot of them, don't even know a lot about how much protein they need to eat daily or what's required to, lose fat and build lean muscle so they have a lean physique, maybe have some ab definition, but they also just have a body that they're proud of. And a lot of times I see with being on the grind in the world of sports or maybe not knowing a lot when it comes to nutrition, it's easy to neglect, the protein intake, right? Again, if you're always, just making a bunch of calls, but you're not closing, right? You're not closing, the deals or the appointments that you're doing on the sales side of things, there's obviously a problem there, right? So if you're, eating super low calorie or you're doing a lot with your nutrition, but you're not maybe including, maybe not seeing the results you want, then there's probably an issue right there. And a lot of issues I see is the protein intake, guys. It's one of the most magical recipes, or the ingredients, I should say, when it comes to seeing success on your fitness journey, because it, A, helps you retain a lot of muscle, and 2, it's the only thing that will help you build more muscle, and it helps you keep yourself full throughout the day, right? So with neglecting, I see a lot of people run into a lot of problems. So if you, again, want to lose stubborn fat and obviously build more muscle, you want to eat at least 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of protein of body weight daily. So if you're 200 pounds, your goal would be anywhere from 160 to 200 grams of protein daily. Or you can either, if you want to simplify it, you could eat your goal weight in protein per day. So if you're 200 pounds and want to get to 150, just eat 150 grams of protein. And especially if that's a lot more than you usually are, you will see results as well. And pro tip, take the number of meals you eat daily and divide that by the total amount of protein to eat daily, and have that at each meal. So what does that maybe look like? If you need 200 grams of protein per day and you eat 4 meals a day, eat 50 grams of protein at each meal. Because again, if you're eating high amounts of protein and maybe you're eating too much in one sitting, it's gonna be a little bit effective. It's gonna be hurt your digestive system a little bit, because it's hard for the body to break down protein, and your body actually uses a lot of calories to break down protein. That's what also helps with fat loss as well. That's why it's super important to consume. But again, you want to make sure you're spreading it out so your body can digest it efficiently, and that's why you're absorbing all the nutrients that comes with eating more protein. So make sure to spread it out, and that way it's going to help you keep you full throughout the day, so that way you're not snacking late at night or just getting a bunch of cravings coming up. Step number 4 is to eat more fiber and limit any added sugars, guys. So with, a big mistake I see, I made this myself, is throughout the day is definitely when you're, in a high stress, situation with work and all that stuff, or you're just bored, it's easy just to get, snack a lot throughout your day, and to intake a lot of sugar, because, sugars, it's good in moderation. You don't want to overdo it, especially with the added sugars. But I also see a lot of people neglecting, when they're eating out a lot, you're not going to get a lot of fiber when you're eating a lot on the go. Right, and fiber is super important when it comes to losing fat, because it helps speeds up your digestive system, right? And when your body's digestive system is high and you're processing a lot, it's digesting a lot, it is going to again keep your everything moving at a fast rate, which is going to naturally keep your metabolism a little bit higher, right? So, and by the way, guys, if I sound a little mucusy, I'm just getting over a cold or allergies, whatever it is. I just don't know what's going on, but I'm doing my best here. So, daily fiber intake for adults is you want to have anywhere from 25 to 30 grams on a daily basis. And you could do this by choosing high fiber foods. You know, you want to look at foods for at least 3 grams of fiber per 100 grams for bread and crackers, and 4 grams for 100 grams for pasta. And I always say to keep it even more simpler than that, just think of like eating more whole wheat things like whole wheat pasta, you know, your oatmeals, you know, eating more veggies and fruits because they're high in fiber as well. And for the added sugars, the HAA recommends men consume no more than 9 teaspoons of 36 grams of added sugar per day. And women consume no more than 25 grams of sugar per day. So you want to make sure you're checking your labels. Make sure you're not consuming a bunch of like, you know, candy or junk. Again, it's good. It's not that bad in moderation, but you just want to make sure you're not overdoing it on a daily basis, right? Because when you consume more added sugars, not the good sugars, it's going to spike your insulins. It's going to make you crave more sugary things. And again, the same thing goes for fast food. When you eat more of it, you're going to naturally want more of it. So pro tip is to have veggies and fruits with each meal since they're rich in fiber and vitamins and minerals. But obviously, eating more fruits and veggies, like I just mentioned, snack throughout the day will limit your cravings and keep you full longer. For example, if you eat 2 pounds of watermelon, I'm not saying to eat 2 pounds of watermelon, but that's only 275 calories for 2 pounds of watermelon. So if you just eat more fruit throughout your day and use that as a snack instead of, you know, eating a bunch of bags of chips or, you know, candy or like whatever else is out there, you know, you'll be able to stay in your calorie deficit and also get a lot more vitamins and minerals throughout your day. So you're make your body healthier, and 2, you're not going to overeat, which is going to, again, hurt your fat loss goals. And step number 5, lastly, is the strategy for game days. So a big mistake I see, and I hear a lot talking to sports execs, that when they run to bad things with not to say bad things, but like hiccups with their nutrition, it's definitely I hear a lot because of the game days, right? Whether they have pregame meals or postgame meals, or they're getting out late from the stadium and there's no places open, so they have to settle for fast food. And I've been there. You know, I went through the same things myself. Sometimes getting out of games super late, you know, especially if it was a night game, getting out by midnight, so there's nothing really there. So again, this is why I'm happy to share this simple strategy with you. This is the one I did during the rest of the season that helped me stay on track with, you know, after losing my first 10 pounds, still losing up to that 30 pounds while being in season as well. So first things first is try to bring high protein snacks and fruits to the game so you have something to snack on throughout the day. I find that and I made this mistake too, a lot of people, again, when they're walking around on game days and they maybe have some downtime, it's easy to snack on some things from, you know, the office that are maybe not the most healthiest, or like get something from the concession stands, or like when they get their meals, overdo it and eat a lot more than they should. So you want to make sure you have high protein snacks and fruit, again, to keep you full throughout the rest of the day. And 2, again, you get more protein and it's going to help you for your goals, right? So it's a win-win, and you're going to actually feel better about yourself. And then the pro tip is to focus on portion sizes, and veggies should take up about half your plate. So guys, if you are getting pregame meals or postgame meals, whatever it is, think of like a serving of protein is 1 palm. Like as you see here, a serving of veggies is 1 fist, a serving of carbs is 1 cupped hand, and a serving of fats is 1 thumb. I say just focus on the protein and the veggies for the most part, and the carbs, like these 3. But if you're going to eye it, just make sure you're getting, I would say, 1 to 2 palms of protein. So that way you're eating more protein, again, at these meals. And again, I know sometimes there's pizza, there's chicken tenders, whatever it is. I would just have some of that stuff in moderation. And again, like I said, with the 80-20 rule, you can use some of those opportunities to have meals like that as some of your fun meals, just to create a buffer. So that way, again, you don't stress that you're, you know, falling off track with your goals. With 2, just be more mindful with moderation and not consuming high amounts of these foods. And also, again, you can always save a meal prep meal for when you get home that's already prepared. Like if you have an Eat Clean Bro meal or a meal prep company, or you already prepped your food, you can just go home and warm it up and there you go. Or bring it with you to the stadium, whatever works best for you. But I would say those are the biggest things. And again, if you need to eat late after the game and only fast food places are open, you can either, like I just mentioned, use one of your fun meals or prep meals that you have. But it's not a big deal as long as you're still in the calorie deficit, guys. So that's why I said that I make that the number 1 step thing to follow. Step 1 is to dial in your calories, because as long as you're not overeating those, you will still lose fat. and be in a deficit, you just have to still want to make sure you're still eating majority of the time good foods and not just relying on fast foods. Because again, just because you eat one meal a day and you're in a deficit doesn't mean you're getting the right proper nutrients and macros and the amount of protein for your body, which again play a big role in your goals as well. So I hope this was super helpful for you guys. Again, as always, I'm always here to answer any of your questions. You could always shoot me a note via LinkedIn or Instagram if you have any questions. And as always, if you want a personalized program for your goals and you finally want to feel confident in your skin, especially, in the world of sports, then just click the link below in the description that I'll drop to book a free strategy call. And that way we can hop on a quick call, jam out a little bit. I can get more insight to your current situation and see if or how I can support you. And if it makes sense, we can kind of take the next step in the process and see if we'd be a good fit to work together. But as always, if you just need some support, feel free to reach out to me anytime. And as always, family, make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel so you get notified when I drop more content in the coming weeks. And as always, I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Peace.